All right, guys. Welcome to our severe thunderstorm warning of the day, it seems to be like. So as of recently, let me turn that volume down. As you can see, the past couple of days, we've been having these pop-up, hit or miss, severe storms that have been popping up out of nowhere with the presence of all this convective activity for our summertime pattern. So those high actual temperatures and the dew points really creating a conducive environment for these pop-up showers. But I'll go ahead and put this full screen for you. As you can, oh, wrong one. As you can see, this severe thunderstorm warning right now is for Macon, Schley, and Taylor counties right here. And see if my camera is going to put it up, but maybe not. Okay. I'll have to figure that out in just a second, but I'll put this up just behind me and try to give you guys a localized view of it. So Macon, Schley, Taylor counties, this is a severe thunderstorm warning issued until 8 p.m. right now, and there's frequent lightning associated with this, and as I just looked a second ago, very reasonably sized hail. So if I pull that up, you can see it right behind me. Hail about an inch in diameter so far, so we're talking about quarter-size hail at this point, which is just past the threshold for severe levels of hail. So we are seeing very significant severe weather effects with this. Again, this is issued for the next 30 minutes right now, and we are tracking it as it moves through the southern part of Taylor County into western Macon County. Again, this is kind of the area that really got hit hard by a bunch of these warnings the other probably about 2-3 days ago, I believe it was. But nonetheless, so we're looking at most of the lightning being centered right between Rupert and Ideal. If you can kind of see it up here behind me, Ideal's right here and Rupert right there, and plenty of lightning right there in between all of this right there. So what this is bringing is that frequent lightning, so obviously stay indoors. You do not want to be outside with all of this lightning, and it is not safe to be outside nonetheless. Also, with the presence of this inch hail that we are seeing, it is very dangerous, and that is a reasonably sized hail that could cause some damage to any property that you are having as well. Also, we're probably looking at the effects of damaging wind gusts, which are also typical for these severe thunderstorms that we are having in the summertime, and very intense rain downpours. So we will monitor that as it continues to move through this area. But right now, the bulk of it, if I pull up the hail signature, it'll be a little bit easier for y'all to see kind of the areas right there. So as you can see right there, a little green kind of triangle or yellow triangle right there, you can see that is where the largest hail in diameter is right now, about an inch in diameter, and is moving towards into Macon County, rather towards Ideal and other areas like Bartlett right here. Highways 195, kind of almost parallel to Highway 90 right there, crossing from the Taylor County line into Macon County as well. So I'm just going to see if I can pull this up full screen. Something's not working with that right now, so I will continue to kind of just put it up here right now. So as you can see, this is the hail signature associated with this, and since there's so much lightning associated with it, it's really kind of hard to see and pinpoint what cities this is moving towards. So I'm going to go ahead and give you a more localized view. As you can see, it's up at the top right here right now where the center of the most frequent lightning and hail is associated with this, moving into the Ideal area, kind of a general southeast direction right now. So we're talking areas like Bartlett, Fountainville, into Montezuma, Cutoff, Barron's Lane. All of these areas right around the Montezuma City Center in Macon County are looking to be affected by this as it continues to move down into Macon County. We're talking Fields, Georgia as well, even a little bit further like that. So this is a very small in nature thunderstorm. As I pull up the radar once again, kind of give you an overview of what all is with this. But as you can see, storms are popping up over to our west now, coming over from the Alabama state line like they have been doing the past couple of days. So generally what they're going to do is have a general southeast easterly direction. It's really hard to pinpoint where the direction of these storms will move this time of year. It all depends on how much instability is in the atmosphere, and it just kind of goes and moves around in a, I guess, a direction of where the most potential energy is for these to continue to pop up and be very intense in nature. So this is for the next I guess about 24 minutes right now. As is 7:36 right now. This is until 8 p.m. right now. We will continue to monitor it, but were this to remain at the same strength and intensity that it is at right now, we will more than likely prompt another warning as it continues to trek southeastward, eastward in a general sense. But we're also going to keep an eye on some of these thunderstorms up here further north and to the west as well. We're looking at another thunderstorm right here in Talbot County popping up with frequent lightning as well, and I would imagine that might produce a hail signature as well. Nope, not quite. So that is good news. So that's more than likely why that hasn't been issued for a severe thunderstorm warning. But nonetheless, these are still strong thunderstorms. Just because they don't have the severe criteria with them does not mean that you aren't still going to see the effects of a strong thunderstorm as it rolls through our area. Frequent lightning, heavy downpours, gusty winds, those are the effects you can be seeing. We're talking wind gusts getting up to about 30, 40 miles an hour maybe associated with these severe thunderstorms. And if it really intensifies and we're seeing more strengthening amongst the hail and how fast these storms are moving, you could even see even gustier winds and stuff like that we have been seeing with the gust fronts associated with some of the recent storms that have been pushing down power lines and trees and causing much damage across the central Georgia area. But just because you are not in any of this area where these severe thunderstorms are currently does not mean that you can rule out the effects of them. As you can see right here, I'm going to zoom in on this. It's a classic example right here, just east of Roberta. No rain whatsoever, maybe some dense clouds, but as you can see, a lightning strike right there in the middle of nowhere, well off the center of the intensity of the severe thunderstorm warning. So if you are in any of these areas, which I'm going to go and list kind of a name of areas close by, which I think could be affected by these strong and severe thunderstorms, if you hear thunder, go indoors. That is an indication that you are close enough to be struck by lightning, even further away from the bulk of the rain like we are seeing right there in Roberta. So as an overall kind of just localized view, as you can see, we're talking about our western, kind of southwestern counties right here in our central Georgia viewing area. We're talking lower Upson County, so South Upson County moving in from Talbot County right there. As you can see, frequent lightning associated with this. If it continues to intensify, I would not be surprised if some hail is started producing with that. So I know Upson, Taylor, and Macon counties all got warnings a couple days ago with some pretty intense storms, and they all kind of formed a line across the west edge and moved into our area. We could very well see something like that happen tonight, so we will continue to monitor this as stuff continues to roll in from the west. But we're talking about Upson counties, Taylor, Macon County, moving into the southern Peach County area, maybe even into Houston as well, and Crawford County as well. We're talking about all these western counties right here: Roberta, Thomaston, Butler, Montezuma, Fort Valley, Perry. All of these areas, you are close enough in the vicinity to see the effects of these severe thunderstorms as they continue to pop up and roll through our area this evening. So any of those places I just mentioned, please just go inside, bring your pets inside, and strap down any furniture if you are not in the bulk of this right now. If your areas like Roberta, Fort Valley, and Perry, it is okay to go outside real quick, grab anything that you don't want getting damaged or blown with the gusty winds or heavy rainfall or getting damaged by some of this hail that's even being produced. It would be a good time, if you are in any of these areas currently not experiencing the rain, to go ahead and secure that. But nonetheless, only make it very brief and very quick, because as these do pop up in nature, it is hard to predict the location and the track of where they are going to be. They are just going to kind of pop up out of nowhere, like we have seen with this one right here. So we have one severe thunderstorm warning. Nonetheless, strong thunderstorms encompassing a bunch of our western counties, even over towards the state line around Harris County and over there in Columbus as well. Columbus really relatively clear right now, rather, but over there in Hamilton, Harris County, we have storms, just general west-east motion, what we've been seeing the past couple of days. This one right here looks to have a little bit more of a south orientation to it, but nonetheless, it continues to move further eastward and creep into that little corner right there around the Peach County, I guess Peach County kind of triangle right there, if you will. So we're going to take a closer look at that. Once again, let's take a look at the hail as well. And you can see, okay, the hail signature reading much smaller hail now, not quite at the inch mark. We're only merely looking at about 6/10 of an inch in hail right now. So now we're going down to about nickel size hail. whereas opposed to what we just did have with the quarter-size hail. As a good sign of weakening within the thunderstorm, but more hail, or the hail can grow larger in nature if there's more potential for the rising motion in these thunderstorms. That will allow the cloud tops to grow higher up into the atmosphere where it's much colder, and that will allow for larger in size hail. But nonetheless, a good sign that the hail is going down in diameter. We'll continue to monitor that as it moves over. And this is a good parameter to look at if you're trying to find city names and certain landmarks when you zoom in, because there's so much lightning associated with this right now. It makes it really hard for us to see where and what towns and localized roads, I guess you would say, these storms are going to impact. So right now, just below the Taylor County line, right on the western edge of Macon County, kind of in the ideal Georgia area, is where we're seeing the bulk of this hail, the lightning, and the rainfall as well. I'm talking areas ideal, Rupert, and it could be moving eastward into areas like Montezuma and Marshallville as well in Macon County. So let's take a look back at the radar palette. I'm going to take a peek at some of your comments right here. Oh wow, a lot of comments. So I'll try to take it from the top as much as I can. Let's see. Washington County, Warner Robins, I see a couple comments about that right now. I'll give you an overview since we've kind of been focusing on the west. Washington County, you had some storms earlier. They're moving on out of the area, so that's a good sign. If you have had rain already, the atmosphere is having less time to, I guess, recuperate and regenerate all that convective fuel with the humidity and the higher temperatures. So it has used up all that fuel. That's a good indication that you won't be seeing rain for the rest of the night, but very well, if these storms are to pop up and form a more organized line of convection like we have been seeing, the further it moves on over, they will last a little bit longer, and you're talking about showers and storms. So everywhere in central Georgia, as I've been saying for the past couple of days, we're in this summertime pattern where we heat on up. All the moisture in the air is allowing for this rising motion and pop-up storms all over our central counties, or all over our counties rather, in central Georgia. And you can see that we are relatively quiet on most of our counties, but nonetheless, you still have the possibility of a pop-up shower or two, one even turning severe like it is down here in the southwest. That is going to be the name of the game for the coming days. We are still under a level 1 severe weather risk from the Storm Prediction Center as of today, and that will last through the remainder of the evening. So nonetheless, areas like Washington County, areas like Warner Robins over in Houston County, this is further or closer over to where all these storms are right now. So I would not doubt that we are going to see some rain and some showers in Houston County, the Warner Robins, Perry, that area, Henderson area tonight. So we'll continue to monitor that as it moves eastward. But nonetheless, Washington County, for the near future, not looking like much rain, but don't rule out a shower or two that could be associated with a line of convection forming over to the west like we are seeing right now. Lawrence, Dudley area. Yes, right now some more storms that move through, or maybe merely just some showers. Doesn't look like there's too many lightning signatures, but there was a line of storms that kind of stopped and halted around the Dublin area and then just continued to move eastward. What that right edge of it was, but the rest of it kind of dissipating as it moved across central Georgia. But looking relatively clear right now in Lawrence County, the Dublin, Dexter, Dudley, Cadwell areas, all of those looking clear right now. Again, don't rule out the possibility of a shower or two moving in through the night. Let's see. Ben is going to get on to me. No, sleeves aren't rolled up. I want to save the sleeves up for a little bit more severe criteria, so I don't want to freak people out if I do roll my sleeves up and it's not too severe. But nonetheless, this is a severe thunderstorm warning. I might have to just start rolling my sleeves up every time for this. Let's see. Ideal is getting pounded, lightning popping up everywhere. Yes, that is where the most frequent lightning is. As you can see, you can zoom in down here and you're probably almost not even able to see the ideal label right here, just with the frequent lightning all over the place associated with this. So not only is it lightning, it's heavy downpours. You're probably seeing gusty winds as well, and then hail is picking up on our hail parameter right now. I'm going to take another look at that as we continue to monitor this. It looks like the hail is going down in size, which is a good sign of less convective activity allowing for that rising motion. Hopefully that rising motion will continue to decline and allow for this storm to dissipate and break apart as it continues to roll through our area. Again, we do appreciate the rain for this time of year, especially with how swampy it really is, and it makes those temperatures go down and it makes it feel a lot more pleasant outside. But when they turn severe like this, that is when we have to worry about damage that we do not want. And a lot of the storms that have been popping up recently, there's another next reading on the hail signature right there, but a lot of the storms that have been popping up very recently, very spontaneous in nature, and they are very short-lived, but when they can bundle together, kind of like we're starting to see in our western counties right now, I'll take a look at that in just a second too, it really creates a long-term effect that could roll over and kind of just sit in place, you know, just continue to pop stuff up. And that's kind of what we're seeing right now in the Taylor-Macon County area right now. So hail signatures, there's two separate ones now indicating that it's kind of breaking apart a little bit, but nonetheless, there still is about pea-sized hail associated with this right now, which is good compared to when I first got on. I saw about hail about an inch in diameter, so we are well below that severe criteria for hail right now. Nonetheless, this is a severe thunderstorm warning producing some hail, so you are going to want to ride this out. And with all the frequent lightning, the heavy rain, probably seen some sideways rain associated with these gusty winds as well. That is something that you will want to be inside for. You do not want to play around with that or take a gamble and try to drive anywhere through this, especially if you are in any of these areas with the heavy rainfall right now. Rupert, Ideal, even moving over into Marshallville and Montezuma. Please stay inside and ride these storms out, for they will be gone in just a little bit, hopefully, but nonetheless, we're going to continue to monitor them and see how much energy they still have left to play with. So zoom back out. As you can see, widespread rain all over Taylor and Macon counties right now, going on up into Butler and the Reynolds area now. You can see some lightning strikes popping up right here, and then even some more lightning strikes over to the west, but nonetheless, the majority of it is right here in this yellow polygon that the National Weather Service has issued a warning for. Again, we got about 12 minutes left on that warning right now. This is until 8 p.m. currently. Let's see. All right. Look at one thing on the National Weather Service chat. All right, so I'm seeing comments about Smar, Dublin, no hail in Bibb County. What about Warner Robins? So I'll give you guys all an overview right over here. Dublin, I just touched on that briefly again. Nothing popping up right now, but don't rule out the possibility of a pop-up shower or two rolling through the evening hours tonight. Up here in Monroe, Bibb, and Houston counties, where I'm getting some comments. See, nothing immediately right now, but as you can see, the general trek, this stuff is popping up over towards the west. So when that continues to pop up and pop up just kind of out of nowhere, the general trek is eastward, which is the trend we have been seeing with these storms. Again, they don't have a necessarily straight direction. They kind of linger around for a little bit and use up all that energy that they can to pop up and produce all this lightning and rain. But nonetheless, as you can see, all of this moving in a general eastward direction. So don't rule out the possibility of a shower anywhere in any of our central Georgia counties, but for those three comments I just saw in Monroe, Bibb, and Houston County as well. Houston County closest to that cluster of thunderstorms down there right now. Let's see. Is Thomaston in the clear? Let's see. I'll move back up there. I believe Thomaston, not seeing any rain right now, but nonetheless, you can see this stuff is popping up just to the south of Thomaston in Upson County and Talbot County. So that is something you want to take note of. I would advise proceeding with caution right now in Thomaston, because some stuff is continuing to move in, as you see over from the west right there. That could very well move into the Upson County area as well. So that is something that you will want to take caution for. And anywhere that I've mentioned on here, I would advise that is close to some of these clusters of storms right now, Thomaston included, Culloden as well, maybe even Roberta as well. You guys will want to make your evening plans inside. If you're grilling out or anything, start cleaning up the grill and just going inside, waiting for these nighttime storms to roll through, because this is a severe thunderstorm criteria, or severe thunderstorm criteria further to the south, but strong thunderstorms nonetheless, and that is something that you will want to be inside for. You do not want to be getting hit with hail pellets or any of that sideways rain, and especially the lightning is something that you do not want to be outside for. Let's see, coming to Perry, Ideal, Georgia, as heavy rain, lightning, and hail. Let's see, Soperton. All right, I'm getting a lot of localized comments about certain areas. So once again, I'll kind of do an overview of this and give you my synopsis of what I believe is going to happen. Obviously, areas to the east are experiencing rain, a little less likely to produce a pop-up shower or two because they've already had one. But nonetheless, as we continue to see this stuff pop up over to the west, that is the general west to east direction that we normally have within our atmosphere. And with the pop-up nature and everything going on from this summertime pattern that we're having this week, the higher temperatures, we've gotten a little bit of relief on those, but still nonetheless, the humidity is really cranking in the 70s for our dew points, which is making it very, very humid outside, abundant moisture in the atmosphere. So that is allowing for this rising motion when we have stuff pop up for this time of year with the presence of that heating. So think the warmer temperatures and the convective type stuff, as I've been mentioning a lot, convection, warm air rises, so that when you get warm temperatures, all that warm air is going to rise on up, and we have plenty of moisture associated with that. So when all that moisture continues to rise on up, it produces these tall clouds, which are very, very intense in nature with rain and lightning and all the other effects that you do see for severe weather. So nonetheless, enough of my science lesson right there, but as you can see, our eastern counties not seeing a lot of rain right now. General trek is eastward, but you continue to see how these just pop up out of nowhere. They're really just very spontaneous in nature. It's hard to predict where the location of these is going to pop up, but they continue to move eastward, and that potential nonetheless, all of central Georgia has it with the heat of the day. Some areas a little bit less, but still we are all under a level 1 risk for severe weather from the SPC this evening, and that will go until about the midnight hour. But nonetheless, they're saying that we all have that potential for a severe thunderstorm and all have the potential for evening showers. So we got a break last night, but don't rule out anything tonight. As you can see, everything is popping up right now over towards the west. So any areas in central Georgia, don't rule out the possibility of a storm, but the areas that we're looking at for the near future that could be experiencing some rain, showers, and storms are our western counties. As you can see, Thomaston and Upson County, kind of the northern edge of these thunderstorms right here. Moving on down into Taylor County and Butler, down to Macon County in the Montezuma area. Continuing to trek eastward, creeping on into the Peach County, Crawford County, Houston County area as well, and then areas further north, maybe Monroe County, Lamar County as well. Bibb County could be in the near future as well, but we'll continue to monitor that. It's really hard to predict when these storms are going to break apart, but nonetheless, we did see a lot of storms roll through kind of this general direction earlier today, and now they have since dissipated within the past hour or so. So we're going to continue monitoring this as the severe thunderstorm warning is present right now. I'm going to take another look at the hail because the hail signature is a good indication of weakening or strengthening. And as you can see, our hail size has gone down. I'll pull up the query for you so you can look at that. As you see, 0.3 inches in diameter now. We're talking about 7/10 of an inch decrease in that size of hail. So we were starting out at about quarter-sized hail. Now we're down to merely about pea-sized hail. So that is good news associated with that right now. But still nonetheless, frequent lightning, heavy downpours, gusty winds associated with this storm here in Macon County. Now we're going to continue monitoring this. I'm going to see what the National Weather Service has to say. Again, it's 7:55 right now, and this warning is until 8 p.m. So we have about 5 minutes to see what the National Weather Service consensus is on this storm. But nonetheless, areas all over Macon County going to see strong thunderstorms, whether we have this warning or not. So areas like Marshallville and Montezuma starting to see lightning flashes, starting to feel the rain, feel the winds associated with this. So just because you are not in this yellow polygon does not mean that you aren't going to see the effects of this. Once again, severe thunderstorms do not obey these yellow polygons right here. They don't say, oh, okay, there's a yellow line, I can't go further than that. No, they will continue to move as they please with all the presence of this instability in the atmosphere, as I've been calling it, with the humidity and the high temperatures, and is continuing to trek in a general eastward direction. So areas anywhere you can probably see on the screen right now, I would advise to stay inside and wait for these storms to pass on over, even as far over as Unadilla. Not seeing anything, but very much you could see some stuff continue to pop up towards the southeast. In a matter of 30 minutes, Unadilla could be getting poured on, like areas in Montezuma and Marshallville and Ideal, Georgia right now. But Ideal, Georgia and Rupert, Georgia, really two of the towns that are really getting hammered right now. Garden Valley as well, and Bartlett. So as you can see, this is really the Macon. Well, it's really hard to see right now. All you can really see is lightning, so I'm going to put the hail back up. But right now, looking at this is Taylor County right up here. Here's the dividing line into Macon County, and then here's Slide County down there. As you can see, kind of like right around the threshold, or the three counties, I guess, the crossroads of all of those. So as you can see, this hail signature really kind of clumping together now, the separate hail signatures, and very widespread. Again, pea-sized hail, but very widespread all over these towns right here. It's just now southeast of Ideal, moving into Bartlett. Bartlett getting that pea-sized hail, but pretty widespread hail signature associated with this. So I think the National Weather Service might continue to keep this warning up for the next couple of minutes, but we'll have to wait and see in the next 3 minutes how that plays out. But we're talking highways 90, highway 195, right here in western Macon County, kind of going out of our southwest viewing area right now. Bartlett, Georgia, moving on into, I believe this is Barron's Crossroads, or Barron's Lane, my bad, excuse me. And then other areas like Fountainville, Cutoff, Montezuma, into Fields, Georgia as well. So really kind of trekking towards the east, kind of maybe a little bit southeast, where it could move into the Montezuma city center as well. Let's see. Yeah, you guys can't see the screen enough. I'm trying to take it full, but something's going on with my buttons over here, so I don't know exactly what to do with that. I'm just trying to give you as close of a view as I can, but yeah, I mean, basically anything that I'm saying on the screen, if I'm naming some sort of town, please do take caution with that. But as you can see, we'll zoom back out a general overview of all of this. Again, I know it's a little bit hard to see, but bear with me as I can't really do much with that right now. But as you can see, widespread thunderstorms all across our western counties continue to trek eastward. Areas like Butler, Reynolds, Rupert, moving on into Macon County down here in this area where I'm pointing my hand right here, Marshallville, Montezuma, Ideal, Georgia, moving into Bartlett, as well as where the bulk of that lightning, the pea-sized hail, gusty winds, the heaviest downpours are associated with that. And one more minute, the National Weather Service will take this polygon away and then either issue a new one or continue to just kind of monitor this as it plays out over the coming hours and see what's going to happen with that. But now you can see just how quick these storms can pop up. Kind of really not much going on right here in western Taylor County, and now widespread rain across western Taylor County as it continues to just pop up and move a little bit eastward. Very, very slow though. So a couple more, probably about 30 more seconds until that 8 p.m. warning. We're going to see if anything happens with that. Well, something will happen. This polygon will go away, and I'll pull up the hail parameters so you guys can, well, hail parameter doesn't have it on there. So yeah, I'll keep this up right now. We'll see what happens as the 8 o'clock turnaround comes there. As you see, the polygon just went away. We're going to see if anything gets updated in terms of new warning or not. So I'm going to pull up the National Weather Service chat over here on this computer and see what they are saying in here. I'll log back in. Get a sip of water real quick. Oh, I drank all my water. Whoops. Okay, so National Weather Service chat is saying, if it'll load for me. Lots of technical difficulties happening right now. So severe thunderstorm warning issued till 8 p.m. They continued the severe warning until 8 p.m. Now we are waiting to see if they will say anything else about it. But until then, I will continue to stay up here until they give me consensus that the warning is completely expired. But nonetheless, what I think they might do is turn this into a strong thunderstorm statement, which is one level of criteria below a severe thunderstorm warning, which basically means that you have all the same effects of a severe thunderstorm warning. They're just all a little bit less severe in the terms of those parameters. So the hail isn't quite as large, the winds aren't quite as strong, but nonetheless, we can see the rain and the lightning very, very frequently right here. I'm actually going to pull up the Perry Skycam because I'm sure that is a very good view of what this storm is actually doing right now. Bear with me as I keep moving through the technology right now. Here's the Perry Skycam. Oh yeah, so definitely I'm gonna move this camera over towards the south, or the west, kind of southwest. Starting to see a lot of very, very dark looking clouds. I'm wondering if we can see any of this lightning here associated with this as well. So I'll pull that up. All right, there's your Perry Skycam. As you can see, very, very dark clouds, really hard to make out a bunch of what's going on, but nonetheless, that is just goes to show you the intensity of the rain associated with these right now. So this is the west gate at the fairgrounds, looking dead west over towards our storms over in Macon and Taylor counties as well. Not seeing any lightning, but nonetheless, lightning is still there. It just might be kind of rain wrapped right now with the presence of those heavy downpours. So because when we pull up the radar, you can definitely see all of that lightning on there right now. Let's see. Are we still under threat level 1? Yes, we are. So we are still under the severe level threat of 1 out of 5, which is the marginal threat right now. So that is the lowest on, well, we have the thunderstorm threat that is just a little bit below a level 1 threat, but all of central Georgia is still under that level 1 threat. I'm going to go ahead and pull that up for you actually, because I've been talking about it quite frequently. I'll play that out. So as you can see, all of central Georgia, every single one of our counties, including the ones that are having the pop-up storms right now over to the west and southwest, all in that level 1 threat. This is for the entire day today. This is until the midnight hour, maybe even a little bit longer than that, depending on how long these storms do last. But we're talking damaging winds. We're talking about large hail, as we saw hail getting up to about a quarter size in diameter, which some of you might not think is large, but I'll pull up that in just a second. It is the first criteria or first threshold into the severe levels of hail, which can cause serious damage to property and yourself if you are outside. Heavy rain is what we're talking about. And also, I need to add something right here that says frequent lightning, because there is so much lightning associated with this right now. And all of those things are things that you do not want to be outside for. That is not all of this can cause damage to you, damage to property. So while these storms are riding out, just know that the possibility exists for all of our central Georgia counties right here through the remaining parts of this evening. Now, tomorrow is a different story. I don't believe we are under a severe weather outlook for tomorrow. This is tomorrow's on Thursday. Yes, as you can see, all of that risk seems to be over towards the west, but nonetheless, with the convective nature of these storms kind of just popping up out of nowhere, I would not be surprised if you start seeing a strong thunderstorm or two, or maybe even a severe thunderstorm or two. So just because we're not under a risk doesn't mean that we can't see a strong or severe thunderstorm pop up kind of out of nowhere. It just means that the Storm Prediction Center doesn't think we are as likely to see that kind of stuff. So back to the radar right now. Let's see. Light clouds in Macon right now. Yeah, we're probably seeing a little bit of cloud cover in Macon. Again, not seeing much according, yep, okay, so I just hadn't looked at the chat in just a little. So 8:04, which was a minute ago, strong thunderstorm statement got issued for those counties. So portions of Macon County, northeastern Schley, and south central Taylor counties, and that will last until 8:45 p.m. So for the next 40 minutes, this is considered a strong thunderstorm, which is one level of criteria below a severe thunderstorm warning, but still nonetheless bringing those same effects as a severe thunderstorm warning, just less in those parameters. So less large hail. We're talking maybe a little bit of less intense downpours. I would say less lightning, but it still looks like there is frequent lightning associated with these, and then maybe some less gusty winds. But nonetheless, all of those are still effects that you are seeing with these severe strong thunderstorms rather. I won't call them severe anymore because they aren't characterized that, but still nonetheless not what you want to be outside for. So please, any of these areas near where I'm talking about right now, Henderson down to Byronville, which is off the screen right there, Unadilla, those areas in northern Dooley County, western, kind of southwestern Houston County, Perry, Henderson, into Peach County, Fort Valley, maybe even Byron as well, moving on up to Crawford County right here, Roberta, and into southern Upson County as well. We're seeing some storms over there in eastern Talbot County, but the plethora, or the majority of it, is right here in these western counties of Taylor and Macon County. As you can see, lots of lightning, lots of widespread rain. We're going to continue to monitor that for a little bit, but I might get off the stream here in just a second because there is no severe criteria associated with this right now. But nonetheless, any of those areas I just mentioned, please just ride these storms out as they continue to pass over. They will be gone rather quick in nature, but nonetheless, they might hover around for a little bit as they have been doing in this Macon County, Taylor County line for just a little bit. But I'll take one last look at some comments. Kind of just continue to monitor this. I'm going to look at the hail once again. As you can see, hail signature just west of Montezuma now, moving into the Montezuma downtown area. And we're talking other areas about Cutoff, Fields, Georgia, just south of Barron's Lane. That is where this pea-sized hail is associated right now. So once again, this is where this strong thunderstorm is. I'm probably going to get off the stream here in just a second, considering there is no severe level threat anymore. But nonetheless, just one more thing. I'm going to pull it back to a big overview. All of our central Georgia counties, I keep seeing comments about, is it going to hit me tonight? Is it going to hit me tonight? Everyone has the possibility for a severe storm to pop up out of nowhere with this kind of convective activity that we're utilizing. Everyone, as I just showed, in that level 1 severe weather threat is all of our central Georgia counties. So just because you don't see a shower right now, don't rule out the possibility of it overnight. But nonetheless, we have been seeing recent clearing. Yesterday, we got some really nice clearing for fireworks last night, and for everyone to continue to celebrate their 4th of July evening after the presence of some afternoon rain. Tonight, we're having some more stuff roll in a little bit later, but nonetheless, without the heat of the day, those are less likely to continue to kind of get bumping and thumping in our area right now. So that is where our strong thunderstorms are right now. We're talking Upson County, Taylor County, Macon County, moving into Crawford, Peach, and maybe even Houston County as well. Still strong thunderstorms, lots of lightning, small hail right now, gusty winds possible as well, and then heavy downpours. So our typical summertime thunderstorms, just ride them out for the time being, and they will be gone in a little bit as we do lose that fuel right now. So I believe I'm going to go ahead and get off in just a second. Once again, thank you guys for tuning in. I'll be back up right immediately if something else is to pop up out of the blue. But nonetheless, if you are in Taylor and Macon counties right now, please stay indoors, let these storms ride on out, and then once they have subsided, kind of keep an eye on your radar on any weather app that you have on your phone. But nonetheless, kind of winding down for the day, just stay inside, maybe cuddle up with your family for a nice movie night or something as these continue to pass through. But no severe level threat associated with these anymore, merely strong thunderstorms, but I say merely with a grain of salt because they are still thunderstorms that you don't want to be outside for. So just refrain from any outside plans for the rest of the night in any of these areas that I have mentioned right over there. And I thank you for joining me. If anything else is to pop up, I'll be right back on the stream. So thank you very much, guys.